In the quiet aftermath of profound loss, when the world feels both too vast and too confining, the Redford family finds itself grappling not only with the raw edges of mourning but also with the unintended intrusions of modern technology. Amy Redford, daughter of the legendary actor and filmmaker Robert Redford, has stepped forward with a heartfelt plea that resonates far beyond her personal circle. She is asking those who wish to honor her father's memory to pause and reflect on the power and the potential pitfalls of artificial intelligence in crafting tributes. What began as an outpouring of love from fans, friends, and colleagues has, in some instances, morphed into something far more complicated, leaving the family to navigate fabricated images and words that twist the knife of grief just a little deeper. Amy's message, shared through the intimate lens of social media, begins with gratitude, a deliberate anchor in turbulent waters. She describes the flood of messages that have arrived since her father's passing, emails brimming with shared memories, text messages laced with quiet empathy, direct messages that feel like whispered secrets, handwritten letters delivered by post, and even unexpected packages left on the doorstep like offerings at a makeshift shrine. These gestures, she emphasizes, have been a lifeline, a reminder that her father's impact stretched across generations and genres, touching lives in ways that words alone can scarcely capture. Robert Redford, with his sun-weathered smile and piercing gaze, wasn't just an actor who illuminated screens in classics like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid or a director whose vision shaped independent cinema. He was a cultural touchstone, a man whose quiet activism and environmental stewardship inspired as much as his performances. The love pouring in is a testament to that legacy, a collective exhale of appreciation for a life lived with intention and grace. Yet, amid this warmth, there lurks a shadow cast by technology's double-edged sword. Amy reveals that the family has been bombarded with AI-generated content that veers into the territory of the surreal and the hurtful. Imagine funerals unfold in digital montages, complete with scripted eulogies and tear-streaked faces that bear only a superficial resemblance to reality. Tributes scripted in the voices of family members spout words they never uttered, sentiments that clash jarringly with the truth of their sorrow. And then there are the renderings, lifelike animations of Robert himself, frozen in eternal youth or scripted with dialogue he could never approve, his image manipulated without consent. These are not mere glitches in an algorithm. They are fabrications that demand emotional labor from a family already stretched thin. Depictions of relatives emerge distorted, casting shadows over their characters in ways that feel like betrayal rather than homage. For Amy and her siblings, these intrusions amplify the isolation of grief, turning private pain into a public spectacle scripted by strangers. The timing could not be more poignant. The Redfords are still in the fragile early stages of processing their loss, a period where every breath feels borrowed and traditions are pieced together like a patchwork quilt. No public funeral has taken place. The family is deliberately holding space, allowing the dust to settle before deciding on a memorial that honors their father's spirit on their own terms. This deliberate pace is a rebellion against the instant gratification of the digital age, a choice to let mourning unfold organically rather than under the glare of spotlights or algorithms. Amy's words underscore a universal truth. Grief is not a performance to be optimized or accelerated. It is a sacred, nonlinear journey, one that ebbs and flows between gut-wrenching sobs and fleeting moments of warmth. To impose artificial narratives upon it is to rob the bereaved of agency, to superimpose a glossy veneer over the jagged authenticity of human loss. As she unpacks these experiences, Amy extends her message beyond the Redford name, advocating for a broader cultural shift in how we wield AI's formidable tools. Every family, she argues, deserves the sanctity of their own rituals, the quiet backyard gatherings under starlit skies, the shared albums pored over in hushed tones, the spontaneous toasts raised in kitchens heavy with the scent of home-cooked meals. These are the threads that weave the fabric of remembrance, tailored to the unique contours of each clan's values and history. For the Redfords, that might mean environmental tributes echoing Robert's lifelong passion for conservation, or film screenings that celebrate his behind-the-camera genius in projects like Ordinary People. It's about authenticity, about letting the person's essence guide the homage rather than letting code dictate the script. Amy's hope is not to banish AI but to tether it to transparency, to ensure that its creations come stamped with clear disclaimers. This is generated, not genuine. In a world where deepfakes blur the lines between truth and illusion, such markers become ethical guardrails, preventing well-intentioned fans from inadvertently causing harm. She poses a simple yet profound question to guide us all. What if this were your family? Imagine the sting of seeing a loved one's face animated in a eulogy they never delivered, or hearing words attributed to you that twist your grief into caricature. That empathy, she suggests, should be our North Star, the human heartbeat pulsing through technological innovation. Let authenticity thrive, she urges, not as a relic of the past, but as the connective tissue binding us in our shared vulnerability. In honoring the dead, we affirm the living. In respecting boundaries, we honor the depth of connection that outlasts any algorithm. Robert Redford's departure leaves a void that no simulation can fill, but his survivors, children Shauna and Amy, and the enduring memories of sons Scott and James, who left too soon, carry forward a legacy of resilience. Scott's tragic passing in 1959 from childhood illness, James's in 2020 after a long illness. These losses layered upon the family's history, forging a quiet strength that now sustains them. Robert's influence ripples through Hollywood and beyond. The Sundance Film Festival he founded, a beacon for underrepresented voices. His environmental advocacy through the Institute for Resource Management. His roles that humanized the American mythos, from the roguish Sundance to the introspective Roy Narring quiz show. Fans' tributes, when genuine, echo these facets, sharing stories of inspiration from the Sting's clever cons to Out of Africa's sweeping romances. As the family contemplates future memorials, Amy's voice serves as a gentle reminder of technology's role in society. AI promises to democratize creativity, allowing anyone to craft visual symphonies or poetic odes, but it also risks commodifying sorrow. Ethical frameworks are emerging, guidelines from tech giants on consent for likenesses, calls from artists for watermarking generated content, but implementation lags behind innovation. Amy's plea accelerates that conversation, positioning personal grief as a catalyst for collective responsibility. In classrooms, boardrooms, and coding boot camps, her words could spark discussions on the moral underpinnings of machine learning, urging creators to prioritize harm reduction alongside breakthroughs.